Speaking of all those annoying victims' family members, they should just be removed from the whole media landscape like those scum that question mask mandates, right? Our third and final story on this New World Next Week, 9/11 plus 20 episode, Spike Lee re-edits 9/11 docuseries to exclude victims' families' questions. Nike's Lenny Riefenstahl, Spike Lee, has removed footage featuring 9/11 conspiracy theories from the final episode of his new documentary series, New York Epicenters, 9/11, 2021 and a half. The documentary features, of course, all your favorite faces. The aforementioned Amy's cousin, Chucky Schumer, Mayor Bill, We Don't Want to Separate Families de Blasio, and members of the conspiracy group Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, who claim that government officials were involved in the World Trade Center collapse. It has been reported that the footage being edited out contains such conspiracy theories about the tragic event, as Newsmax.com writes. I'm back in the editing room and looking at the 8th and final chapter of NYC Epicenters, Spike Lee said in a tweet and a statement to Fox News last Thursday. I respectfully ask you to hold your judgment until you see the final cut. I thank you. The announcement comes after Nike Spike Lee said during an interview with the New York Times that he was going to shut down the Australian highways with truckers. Oh, wait, that's that other story about tipping your hand to your opponent. In an interview with the New York Times, Spike Lee said he didn't believe the official explanations that have been offered and backed several conspiracy theories surrounding the events, including the notion that jet fuel can't melt metal beams. From the interview, New York Times asks, the last episode of the series devotes a lot of time to questioning how and why the towers fell. You interview several members of the conspiracy group Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. Why did you want to include their perspective? Again, mainstream media hates you and your family, period. Spike Lee answers, because I still don't, I got questions. And I hope that maybe the legacy of this documentary is that Congress holds a congressional hearing about 9/11. You don't buy the official explanations? The amount of heat that it takes to make steel melt, the temperature's not reached, and then the juxtaposition of the way Building 7 fell to the ground when you put it next to other building collapses that were demolitions, it's like you're looking at the same thing. But people are going to make up their own mind. My approach is to put the information in the movie and let people decide for themselves. I respect the intelligence of the audience. And the New York Times says, right, but you don't say make up your mind about whether or not the vaccine is poison or make up your own mind about whether Biden was legitimately elected. Spike Lee says people are going to think what they think regardless. I'm not dancing around your question. People are going to think what they think. People have called me racist for Do the Right Thing, said Mo Better Blues was anti-Semitic. She's Gotta Have It was misogynistic. People are going to think what they think. And you know what? I'm still here going on 4 decades of filmmaking, and it's all funded by his 4 decades of working for Nike, that swoostica sweatshop empire of choice. For the fake woke, we will include the link to that full New York Times interview. Spike Lee, exultant at the epicenter. And of course, the conspiracy group, AE 9/11 Truth, have been on top of this Spike story. One of the updates is the McIlvaines and others issued a statement over the MSM smear job. Quote, we are not conspiracy theorists. We're family members seeking the truth about the murder of our loved ones. James?
Yeah, good point, where the New York Times is basically saying we hate you for even existing, for daring to question, for daring to have questions. We hate you and you should not exist. You stupid family members. How dare you care about the death of your loved ones? Anyway, yeah, I think our audience will understand where to situate all of that. And, well, at least someone tried a little bit to maybe raise some questions and is now retreating. I don't know. So I'll play the dumb media unsavvy guy here. Spike Lee, Nike, what's the connection there?
Spike Lee has made very big budget Nike commercials for decades. Oh. Back when Michael Jordan was playing basketball, that's when Spike Lee got into the whole Nike thing. And again, I talk about this a lot in the Media Monarchy Kingdom. It's pretty hilarious to watch dudes go take a knee about racism and the empire while they're wearing sweatshop jerseys that say Chiefs or Braves or some other bullcrap like that. That's the thing. Now, Spike Lee has worked hand in hand with Nike for decades. He even had a fake name. He was Mars Blackman. And again, other media kids out there will totally remember all this. And no, I'm not making this up. Nike has pretty much paved the way for Spike Lee to act like he's an important film activist.
One could imagine what Nike would do if he did release something actually questioning 9/11.
Well, and maybe, and who knows? Maybe Nike's the one that went over to HBO and were like, "You guys, you maybe got to put the damper on this," or it could be that HBO's owned by AT&T, Time Warner, and maybe some of those board members might have heard something about Spike's big conspiracy documentary. So, James, I believe, was it the New York Times a couple months back that said, "Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't do your own research." These are the same folks now, of course, yelling about all these questions. So, James, there's also some 9/11 related media that's not Nike HBO bullplop. Screening of brand new 9/11 drama film The Unspeakable will feature a post-show Q&A with family members. That will be streaming on the internet September 10th. And, of course, everything we say always down in your show notes. Plus, I hear rumors that there's a new 9/11 documentary coming from Corbett Report. Eh? Well, I can tell folks out there there are times where I might know some things about the Corbett Report kingdom, but I can tell you honestly, I have no idea what's coming up very soon from Corbett and Brock. I do know that people in the media monarchy community have said, man, I hope Corbett makes Corona a conspiracy theory, much like your 9/11 conspiracy theories. I know that's not what's going to come out on the 9/11 anniversary, but you're not going to give us anything?
No. You can wait.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'll just immediately jump to my wrap up on this episode. James, I don't know if you've caught any of my Morning Monarchy episodes this week. I've basically been juxtaposing 9/11 plus 20 with the scamdemic all this week on the morning shows. And it just becomes pretty obvious. It becomes pretty odious how similar catalyzing catastrophic events of 9/11 are to the new biomedical security state. So having said that, new documentaries, maybe new DVDs, maybe new time radio, Media Monarchy gets its driver's license. Media Monarchy turns 16 this weekend on the 9/11 anniversary, and we've got a new 9/11 radio play. It's called Yankee Tavern, and it stars the one and only Benny Wills, and it is streaming this Friday only at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, only on MediaMonarchy.com/listen. We basically made a little short deal with the playwright to be able to live broadcast it once. That's going to happen this Friday. However, one that you can listen to over and over again, the deluxe digital package of our Octopus radio play about Danny Castellaro is also going to go on sale this weekend. Tons of listener-supported content coming this weekend. Just watch our websites for the details. James and I often anymore on the morning show say, it's on my website. You can't find it on any garbage ghetto-controlled platform. So we've got something, I think, kind of big in the offing. We don't want to run our mouths about it like Truckies or Spikies and have it crash the second it launched. But good, big, awesome stuff coming up this weekend. And, of course, for all the folks who are very concerned about it, of course I stage crashed successfully at the Morrissey Las Vegas show last week. James.
I've seen the footage. It's true.
It's true.
All right. Okay. Awesome. Well, anyway, that's the 9/11 preview. And we'll continue doing this even after the 20th anniversary of 9/11. James, thanks for 3 stories.
Thanks so much, buddy. Take care.